Hi, my name is Eric Kaufman, and as an executive leadership coach, I get asked a lot about how do I define leadership. There are thousands of definitions and tens of thousands of books, but we got to have some simple operating way to define it. So here's the simple way to go. A leader is somebody who organizes people and influences them to accomplish meaningful results. Organizes people and influences them to accomplish meaningful results. And so there are three layers of what's happening in this definition of leader, and I want to expand on it so that it's a little bit easier to grasp. There are results that the leader has to drive, right? So what are those results? The results are in three categories, often referred to as the triple bottom line. There's the profit. So a leader has to be somebody who helps generate financial results, even for nonprofits. There's something about some bottom line value that's being generated. So profit is one element of it. The other element is that it's about people. What about the community? What about the workers? What about the towns, the planetary community? It's not really okay for a leader to just generate profit and destroy people along the way. And so the third piece is, in fact, the planet. What are you doing to ensure the well-being of the total environment? Just stripping the earth, destroying the environment, killing the atmosphere, not tending to future generations, that's no leadership at all. That's just opportunism. In fact, one of the quotes that I really love says that leaders plant trees under whose shade they might never sit. It's a long-term perspective. So profit, people, planet. Now the question is, but what roles do leaders play in order to affect that? How do they act and behave in order to get these results going forward? So there are 5 roles, 5 competencies that I'm real focused on, that good leadership development will focus on in order to help move somebody more competently to accomplish these results. The first role is the role of strategist. The strategist is just like it sounds. It's about purpose. It's about orientation. It's about direction. We show up to work. You don't just want to show up to work and be a drone, a cog in a machine. You show up to work for some way to fulfill your life. Now I get it. It's about money. It's about a living. But it's very difficult to get people genuinely driven and motivated and committed and engaged if it's just for the money. There's tons of research on it. Purpose, direction, orientation, meaning, answering the big question, why? That's the role of a leader. That's not the only role, though. If that was all, it would be too easy, right? Then there's the resultant. Resultant. Somebody who helps achieve results. Operational excellence, implementation of plans, solving problems. The word in the marketplace is execution, actually getting stuff done. The leaders have to help get stuff done. So, strategist, resultant. Then there's the transformer. Transformer. Fundamentally, you want to have a direction, you want to be able to execute on the appropriate plans. And it's about change. It's about continuous adaptability. In fact, the reason to have strategy is because the future is going to be different than the present. We know that to be true. The future will be different than the present. Strategy is about meeting that future in an effective, successful, meaningful way. Resultant is driving all the different cogs and all the different levels in the machine to help meet that future. And the transformer is that role of adapting and changing. Change is the one constant we just can't get away from. So strategist, resultant, transformer. But there's more. There's the connector. Each one of these roles is a non-negotiable. The connector is the role that you play in what's commonly called team building, creating cohesion, aligning people together, making good cross-functional collaborations, getting people to set aside some of their pettiness and work together to accomplish something meaningful, a result that is significant, that's profitable, that's good for the planet, that's good for the environment, for the community. And then the last one is this role of coach. There has to be, for me, to be interested in my work, there has to be purpose. That's the strategist role. There has to be some autonomy and ability for me to make my own decisions. Now I'm talking about what would help me get engaged with a good leader. There has to be autonomy. But then there also has to be this fundamental human drive for mastery. I want to get better at something that's meaningful to me. It's something that I'm interested in. And if my leader can help coach me, then I'm really interested because he or she is interested in making me better. So the coach helps me get better. The connector helps the team work together so that you have this kind of cohesion and integration of intelligence and resources. The transformer works on innovation and adaptation and change. The resultant focuses on continuous implementation and execution, and the strategist helps set the direction, the why, the purpose, and generate energy. There's one more layer that I want to get into, the final layer of this, which is to say, this is, remember I'm defining a leader as somebody who can organize and influence people to accomplish meaningful results. This is organizing, these are the results. Well, what about the influence part? And this is the last one that I want to get into. And I'm going to not in any way possibly fit it inside this little circle. Fortunately, we have real estate. There are 4 what I call virtues, the 4 virtues of a leader that help you become the kind of person that people want to follow. Focus is the first virtue. Focus answers the question, what am I creating? And this is your ability to take responsibility and to recognize that as a leader, as a human, as a person on this planet, you are constantly co-creating with people and with the environment. Focus answers the question, what am I creating? Do you know what you're deliberately stand for? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What are your expectations? How do you drive the kind of change in results? Who are you as a person? That's the first of the 4 virtues. No sooner will you drive for something and go for working outside the comfort zone, you will start feeling anxious, a little scared, because that's what happens when we try something new. It's inevitable, and there's nothing wrong with it. Courage is the second virtue. It's the virtue that answers the question, what am I avoiding? I bet you never avoid stuff that you're excited about. You avoid stuff that's difficult, challenging, frightening, uncertain, unknown. Courage is a requisite piece for that. Focus, courage. You find, as you go through life, as you go through accomplishing meaningful results, that most things take longer than you expected and require more energy than you thought and are really disheartening at times. Grit is passion and perseverance towards long-term objectives. Absolutely necessary virtue of a leader. And the last one is this virtue that I call faith. Nope, not religion, not Christianity or Judaism or Buddhism or Hinduism or Islam. I'm talking about faith as the fundamental way that people commit to something in spite of not having any proof or evidence. Faith is what you do when you take a leap of faith. That's a critical leadership virtue. So taking a leap of faith out of the comfort zone and the familiar and taking risk, being willing to persevere when you're frustrated and tired and exhausted and disheartened, having the courage to do things that are potentially risky and making some sacrifices, and then having the focus to say, who am I and where are we going, is the heart of what fits into this model. That's who you're being, these are the roles you're playing, and these are the results you're playing. Take this, and there's plenty to work on for a leadership development plan, whether for you, for your team, or for your entire organization. This is my quick definition of what is a leader. Good luck on the journey.